Caught my wife and our couple's therapist sexting. Turns out they've been sleeping together for months. I never thought I'd be the kind of person who ends up telling their story on the internet like some Reddit drama post, but here I am. And let me be upfront about one thing. This story, it still makes my blood boil. Not because of the betrayal alone, but because of how deep, calculated, and disturbing it got. This wasn't just cheating, it was psychological warfare. My name is Jake. I'm 34 and I was married to Laura for 5 years. We had what I thought was a decent marriage. Sure, we fought sometimes. Who doesn't? But I loved her. I genuinely thought we were going to grow old together. We even talked about starting a family. That was the big goal for 2025. I had it all planned out. But last year, things started to change. Laura became distant. She started sleeping in later, staying out later. She claimed she was overwhelmed at work. She's a school counselor, so I tried to be supportive. I made dinner, I cleaned up, I planned dates she kept canceling. Eventually, I brought up the idea of therapy, couples therapy, and she agreed. That, in hindsight, was mistake number 1. That's when we met Dr. Stephen Miles. He came highly recommended, had a warm smile, and an office filled with soft lights and calming music. Laura connected with him immediately, too immediately. I remember thinking during our first session, she's smiling more at him than she has at me in weeks. But I brushed it off. In therapy, you're supposed to feel safe, so I told myself, she feels heard, that's good. We started seeing Dr. Miles weekly. The sessions were strange. At first, I thought they were productive, but over time they started to shift. The conversations always seemed to tilt in Laura's favor. Every argument we discussed somehow got redirected to how I wasn't communicating effectively, or how I misunderstood her emotional needs. I started to feel like the villain in my own marriage. But even then, I didn't suspect anything. I just thought, maybe I really am the problem. Then one night I woke up and saw Laura scrolling through her phone in bed. Her face was lit up by the screen. She was biting her lip and smiling. When I moved, she quickly locked her phone and rolled over. I asked, "Who were you talking to?" She mumbled something about a teacher friend going through a divorce. I nodded. I wanted to believe her, but something in my gut told me something wasn't right. That's when I did something I never thought I'd do. I checked her phone. And that's when my world started to burn. Her messages weren't with a teacher friend. They were with Dr. Stephen Miles. And they weren't just messages, they were sexts, graphic, steamy, disgusting. He was calling her baby girl. She sent him a picture in my favorite black lingerie, the one I bought her for our anniversary. And the worst part, this had been going on for months. There were dates, times, jokes about me being clueless, plans to meet after sessions. It was all there. I felt like I was going to throw up. I took screenshots, hundreds. Then I sat down and I planned. I confronted her the next day. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just showed her the screenshots and said, "How long has this been going on?" Her face went pale. She didn't deny it. She didn't apologize. She just said, "It's complicated." Complicated? I told her to get out. She refused, said it was her house too. So I packed a bag and left. I went to stay with my brother, who looked at me like I was a ghost when I told him. But it gets worse. I tried to report Dr. Miles to the licensing board. You know what they said? We need proof beyond text messages. So I hired a private investigator to trail him. I wanted ironclad evidence, emails, photos, anything. The PI took the job, said he understood how personal this was. Except after 3 weeks, he ghosted me. Vanished. I later found out through a mutual contact in the legal field that the PI had contacted Laura directly. She seduced him too, and you won't believe this. he started helping her erase evidence. My own hired gun flipped on me. This wasn't betrayal, this was a coup. I felt like I was in a bad Netflix series. My wife, my therapist, my private investigator. A twisted love triangle of gaslighting and manipulation. I filed for divorce the next week. Divorce court was a war zone. Laura tried to play the victim. Said I was controlling, paranoid. Tried to say I fabricated the messages, but the court-appointed tech investigator pulled the deleted data. Game over. Dr. Miles lost his license. The PI was sued for breach of contract and obstruction. Laura, she got half of what we owned, but not a cent more. No alimony, no support, nothing extra. She tried to contact me after everything was over. Sent me a long, rambling email saying she made a mistake, that she was caught in a fantasy, that she missed who I used to be. I never replied. Closure doesn't always come with a bow. Sometimes it comes with silence. It's been a year since everything exploded. I moved to a new city, started fresh. I go to therapy on my own now, a real one, vetted, licensed, ethical. I started hiking, boxing, writing again. I'm still learning to trust, still learning to breathe without feeling like the walls are closing in, but I'm healing. Sometimes people ask, how could you not see it? And I tell them, love makes you blind, but trust makes you vulnerable. I trusted her. I trusted him. I even trusted a man I paid to protect me. That's the thing about betrayal. It never comes from enemies. Would I ever get married again? Maybe, someday, but it'll be with eyes wide open, with boundaries carved in steel. As for Laura, last I heard, she and Dr. Miles broke up. Shocker, right? Karma may be slow, but it's thorough. If you're still here, thank you. Seriously, this was not easy to share. But I hope my story helps someone out there feel less alone. Because if there's one thing I learned through all this, it's that betrayal doesn't define you. It breaks you, yes. But it also builds you back up. Stronger, smarter, sharper. Maybe you've been through something similar. Maybe you're in the middle of it right now. Maybe you're second-guessing yourself like I did. Let me say this clearly, trust your gut. And if no one else tells you this today, you deserve honesty. You deserve loyalty. You deserve someone who won't turn therapy into an affair. You are not crazy. You are not paranoid. You are not alone. And if you need someone to remind you of that again, I'll be right here, telling stories like mine. Thank you for listening. If this story hit you hard, you're not alone. Drop a comment below if you've ever experienced betrayal like this. Let's talk about it. Hit that like button to support survivors of emotional chaos. Subscribe for more true, shocking stories every week. Trust me, they get crazier. Share this with a friend who needs to hear they're not the only one. Let's grow this community of honesty, healing, and raw truth. Until next time, protect your peace.